Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was released in 2009 and was again directed by David Yates. And I forgot to mention this in my last Harry Potter review of Order of the Phoenix, but I do believe that David Yates is one of the greatest directors of all time. And I'm sure that's going to be a controversial pick, but really he proved himself with the handling of this franchise. Not that this franchise was by any means bad before David Yates came along. There was a lot of groundwork laid, of course, but David Yates brings it up to an entirely new level. So both this review and my Order of the Phoenix review are part of the Greatest Directors series I'm doing. And the cinematography here really speaks for itself. This is easily the best looking Harry Potter film there is, but also one of the most beautiful films I've seen. They nailed the cinematography, but the color correction also plays a huge role in this. It is consistently dark, gray, and overcast. It's a somber looking film all throughout, and it's visually stunning. And this juxtaposes with the comedic aspect of the film, and this is without a doubt the funniest in the entire series. I was laughing consistently throughout, and this is partially due to the increased time we get to spend with the main cast, just interacting and hanging out with one another, which is always one of the most enjoyable pieces of these movies. There's also a lot of romance on display here, with the subtle hints of a Ron-Hermione relationship getting a little less subtle. Harry has really come into his own here. After the events that took place in Order of the Phoenix, the Daily Prophet is no longer trying to ruin his life and his reputation. He is publicly known as the Chosen One now, and it's really cool to see the entire school acknowledge this and actually treat him with respect. He's also much more confident about being a hero. The climax of this film, which I will not be talking about because I don't want to spoil anything, but it is an emotional high point of the entire series, and really one of the most memorable parts of the whole series. The scene in which Harry and Dumbledore visit that cave is just perfect. That entire scene is so gripping to me every time I watch it. That's like cinema at its finest. It's horrifying, it's surreal. The CGI is fantastic, and the acting out of Michael Gambon, oh my goodness. And yeah, David Yates was able to pull just some awesome performances out of the entire cast here. Probably the best acting of the entire series is found within this movie. Draco Malfoy finds himself having a bigger role in the film, and it was nice to see his character fleshed out a little bit more than just Potter. And Alan Rickman, he just steals the screen every time he is on it. Every scene, he's just so enigmatic. And lastly, I'd like to mention Jib Broadbent, who is a newcomer to the film. He plays Professor Slughorn, the new potions professor. He plays a significant role in the film, and I feel like his role just fits in so nicely. He looks and feels so much like a Harry Potter character, and I appreciate that. So this film actually, I think, pulls off the most balanced tone of the entire series. It has the darkest moments and also the funniest and most lighthearted as well. Every set piece has an incredible amount of detail in it. That really stood out to me in this film compared to the rest. Not that the rest had bad set pieces by any means, but this film in particular, I could just tell that from just the wallpaper and the furniture, the random props, and of course the amazing CGI, I could tell that it was an increased budget for this film. Nicholas Hooper returned to compose, and I again thought he did a good job. Even better than his work on Order of the Phoenix. This one really captures the full-fledged spirit of the movie. It's mostly dark and emotional, but it does have its playful moments. This film has one of my favorite endings of all time, with the trio looking out on the first bright sky of the film. They have just come to terms with the fact that they have no choice but to embark on the most dangerous mission of their lives. It's oddly poetic, and I love the beauty and the setup for the next film, which is something we don't usually see as much in this franchise. This film is so fun all throughout. I just enjoy the experience of watching it. It flies by at 2.5 hours. There's just so much fun and adventure squeezed in here. I would say it is so easily the best film of the franchise. I would say that if it weren't for these very crucial mistakes. In each of my Harry Potter reviews so far, I have clearly stated that I am not comparing this to the book. I am just reviewing the movie for the movie. And while that's partially true here, I cannot review this film without mentioning some very key differences that really do hurt the film. And I would not be mentioning these if they did not significantly affect the movie. Because I'm all fine with changes from books to films. Some things don't translate very well, that's fine. But these changes are egregious and significantly change the story. Let's start with Ginny, who in the film has a budding romance with Harry. But every single scene they're in together feels forced and awkward. They do not have chemistry, and this is mostly due to Ginny being portrayed as having zero personality. Huge miss with her character. It's not like they set her up very well in previous films, but still, this is a huge miss with her in this film because she really does play a significant role, but it doesn't feel natural to the audience to watch her play that role. Moving on, a large plot point in the movie is Dumbledore and Harry analyzing memories to gain some information. And in the movie, they barely skim the surface of the amount of memories they look at in the book, which is fine. There's a lot more time to read a book than watch a movie, obviously, but the book goes well into Voldemort's backstory, and it actually explains why the heck Dumbledore and Harry have to go to this cave in the movie. This is a huge missed opportunity for Voldemort's setup in the next film. There is so much to learn about him in this story that audiences who just saw the movie do not know. There's also zero backstory as to why a certain character is referred to as the Half-Blood Prince, which, seeing as that's the title of the movie, you'd think that you'd make it a priority to have that be in the story. This would be such an easy 10 out of 10 for me if those problems weren't there. I'm still going to give it a very high 9.5 out of 10, just because I think most of the film is so high caliber. So to me, this film has some of the highest successes, but also some of the lowest failures, unfortunately. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in the comments below. Look forward to my Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows review coming soon. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for my next review.